Look at us.
Hey, look at us.
We're killing it. We're killing it in the ratings.
We are.
TBS wants to deal with us.
They do, yeah. Actually, Time Warner, John Warner just called me a minute ago.
Fucking Freeform just called us. They want a TV deal.
Oh my God, yes.
ABC Family 2.
I'm so excited. We're gonna get fined up the asshole though for swearing, so it is what it is. It's content, you know. We'll take a couple fines here and there.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
No big deal.
It's fine. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. I had a little free time in my day, so I started watching a little bit of last year's Forbidden Door.
And how did that go?
Which was very interesting, because I never watched it. I never saw it in the first place.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I couldn't tell you why. I don't know.
Might have just been one of the ones where we were just like, oh, whatever. I'm pretty sure I watched it.
It was pretty hyped up. It was the one where it was like Ospreay, Kenny Omega. But I just watched the first two matches. They had Tanahashi versus MJF, and then it was CM Punk versus Kojima, which very fun little thing. But as I was saying to you earlier, kind of knowing what I know now.
Yeah, it's just
it's sad. Like, I love watching it. I love watching the old AEW.
Yeah.
But it's definitely it was a different era. We'll say that.
Yeah, it was. It feels totally different.
Yeah, and we're we're a year past Forbidden Door, obviously, but we're getting closer to All In. And you know what? I figure why not? Why don't we start with AEW?
Actually, I was gonna say before we even start going into the shows,
he's got fucking a disclaimer. He's gonna make an announcement.
Am I?
Yeah, we have a book coming out.
Book it's gonna be called "Dropkick the Commute: How to Dropkick the Podcasting Industry." A story,
and it also comes with a free masterclass subscription.
Yeah.
So you can watch 25 minutes of us telling you how to hit record and upload to Spotify.
It's true. No. I was gonna say before we get into the shows, did you see WWE uploaded a new series today? What is presumably going to be a series, I imagine. It's called
the Cody Rhodes thing.
Yeah. It's called Cody Rhodes. What do you want to talk about? And the first episode was with LA Knight, so it's just them on Cody's bus having some drinks and talking about LA Knight's career and how he started and how he grew. It's just a cool little show. It's interesting because AEW, they uploaded that one episode of Meal in a Match, and I don't think they've uploaded another one unless I missed it.
They have 2 or 3.
Are they?
But they also...
Really? I only saw the first one.
Oh wait, the Eddie Kingston one, yeah?
Yeah, that's the only one, isn't it?
Maybe I'm thinking about Close Up then.
Maybe.
Because Close Up's also a pretty cool thing that they've been doing. But yeah, I think I saw one. Cody Rhodes did one with Bayley too.
Was that uploaded? I only saw the LA Knight one.
I saw the Bayley one a few days ago, unless it was a different video. But I'm pretty sure the thumbnail said, "What do you want to talk about?"
Okay,
unless it wasn't officially.
I'll have to look at it,
dude. Honestly, I love listening to anything that Cody Rhodes is on.
Yeah, I do too.
I'm a mark for Cody, but also he's just I feel like he's one of the realest dudes when it comes to interviews. He's the only guy on a WWE documentary that's talked about AEW,
right?
Obviously,
openly.
Yeah, and because I feel like it's a very sensitive topic, and we don't know. Presumably, it was a money thing, and that's why he didn't come to terms on a contract. But he still has never disclosed it. But he was real enough to even draw attention to it.
Yeah.
Which I think is cool. And I just watched his Chris Van Vliet interview
Yep.
And that was really good.
Yeah.
He's definitely like, I feel like he's just got a lot to talk about, you know what I mean? So
I really like, whether it be WWE wrestlers or AEW wrestlers, I like that they're just interviews or them just like talking, you know, just about random shit. So middle of the match is cool. I mean, I really just like any behind the scenes stuff, like anything where they're just talking about the business or talking about their careers and shit like that. So cool little series there. Good stuff.
They're bringing back 24 as well.
Yes, Damian Priest.
Priest is getting a dog. I think Trish Stratus is getting one too.
Oh hell yeah!
Talking about like her return to wrestling, like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, that little run she did.
Yeah, and then I want to say there was one more, and I can't think of who it was, but I love 24. They did a good one. The Drew McIntyre one was really good.
Yeah.
I think it was either about him winning the world title or it was about him winning the Royal Rumble. But
I really liked the WrestleMania 36 one as well. Did you see that? That it's a two-parter, so they covered, you know, night 1 and night 2, and they were talking about like the build up to WrestleMania and how they like had so many, you know, big plans for it, and then COVID hit and it just all went to shit, and they had to pivot everything in like a week, you know. So it was crazy.
It's just crazy to think about, like, that was an uncertain era for everybody.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I think the plan originally, they were going to do, like, Goldberg versus Roman, and then, you know, Drew was supposed to win the title in front of fans, and, you know, stuff like that, and everything very quickly changed. And honestly, one of my favorite things is to like fantasy book like what would happen if like
if it didn't happen.
If COVID didn't happen. Honestly, we should do like a 2K video where we like sim it in 2K or something. Like if these matches actually happen,
that could be cool.
The course of history would be changed forever. And it's true. Like we may not have gotten this like bloodline stuff. You know?
Yeah, right.
We may not have gotten a lot of things. Who's to say like how long Drew's title reign would have lasted? Would he have won it back a second time from Randy Orton? Would he have? Was it from Randy Orton? Yeah, it was from Orton. You know, would the Judgment Day be a thing? It's like I feel like a lot of things happen in wrestling where they have to pivot super hard, i.e. like CM Punk's injury and you know, stuff like that, and same for AEW too. Like Blood and Guts was postponed a year.
Yeah.
And you know, things like that. I think if the exploding barbed wire deathmatch happened in front of a full crowd, there would be a riot.
Yeah.
But you know, just like little important things, but also not important things. Like a lot of wrestling's like ever changing and situational, and so you know, it's very interesting to see how these things change just from one little thing to a worldwide pandemic. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's really crazy to think about, just like how much shit changed and all that. Let's hop into AEW. Let's have you open this up, because you were going to. So
yeah.
Talk about Dynamite.
Honestly,
yesterday.
like
Dynamite 250.
Dynamite 250. Not a terrible episode. I definitely think in the grand scheme of like celebrating 250 episodes, I don't think the move was to have a 60-minute match.
59 minutes, 58 seconds, clear.
Sorry. I'll be better. But, you know, regardless, we opened with Will Ospreay versus MJF for the International.
The International Championship.
And I gotta say, like, you gave me some live text updates, and normally I said avoid the spoilers, but I was like, you know what, bring them to me.
Yeah.
But I don't think there was anyone was expecting this match to go that long.
No.
I feel like this was probably the like 4th or 5th time that AEW has done an hour-long match. Probably, I want to say the 2nd time that it's ever been done on TV.
Yeah.
The only other one I think of is Hangman and Danielson.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, was that one.
I think they did it at Arthur Ashe.
Yep.
But the difference with that was they had a match prior and it went to draw, and so they were like, this one's going to have a 60-minute time limit, and we're going to have like judges in case it goes to a draw.
Yeah.
So like we were forewarned, and then I think about like MJF versus Danielson was also, was an Iron Man match, so we knew it was going to be 60 minutes.
Right.
And normally matches like that go to a draw. So we were kind of thinking it might go to a draw.
Yeah.
But it did not. And again, I was not expecting this to be as long as it was, and I almost think we should have like had some kind of warning, because like, I don't know, they're very few and far between, so when they happen, I feel like it's important to like know, like it's kind of like a thing you have to prepare for.
Yeah.
Right? Because 60 minutes of wrestling is a pretty big deal.
We were hitting the half-hour mark, and I was like, what's going on here?
You were like, okay, 45 minutes, maybe.
I was like, 45, and then I was like, what the fuck? Like, we're an hour in? I was like, huh?
So, it was pretty nutty, but I don't think it was, like, outright, it was not a bad match. I'd say it had some, like, pacing issues. Like, in the middle, it, like, got very, like, boring. I don't know. It didn't keep my attention for the entirety of it. But
Agreed.
Then I'd say like after, I think they did like 2 commercials during it, 3. And
yeah,
I think
2.
Once they came back from the second one, that's where it really started picking up. Like they did a whole dislocated shoulder angle with Will Ospreay.
Yeah, the doctors kept coming out. They did a bit where they like snapped his arm back into place, and like
which I kind of love that.
Yeah, I do
like,
too.
It's very dramatic, but like, not something we see a lot.
Yeah, because it's like the doctors come out and be like, oh, yeah, end the match, and he's like, no, bruv, I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah, exactly. I gotta defend the international, bruv.
Yeah.
There's a lot that this match, dude, they did so much. There was so many spots. I can't even imagine what it takes to coordinate a match like that.
Tons of pile drivers, ton of reversals, tons of back and forth. They did probably, 2 or 3 times like reverse pins where it go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
And I'm not like a super fan of that kind of sequence.
Yeah.
I was the first few times I see it, but again, it's one of those things where that's where repetition will kill me, because it's like, we know where this goes, and like they've done it so many times where it does end in one of them actually winning.
Like that.
But it was really good. MJF just proving that he's not just a good promo, he's a phenomenal wrestler.
Yeah, exactly.
This just reminds me of he had a match with Kenny Omega on Collision. Probably in the fall, I want to say. Mm-hmm. And this was right up there with some of my favorite MJF matches. It's just so funny because our introduction to MJF is I'm a scumbag, I fucking hate this sport, I'm just here to collect a paycheck.
Yeah, but then he puts on a banger performance.
Well, yeah, and it started really when he became world champion, because he started wrestling more frequently.
Yeah.
And it's just I think Excalibur made a comment, or this might have actually been in the Forbidden Door that I watched from last year, but Excalibur was he puts on a facade that he doesn't like care about this shit, but you know he's like watching tape, because otherwise how would he be able to reverse all this shit and like do all this stuff? Right. It is very clear that these are the two guys that AEW wants you to pay attention to, which is good, because you know we know that from this match, but it's also very bad because either you should have given more time to Swerve at the end of the show, or you should have opened the show with the Swerve match and made this like the main event.
Yeah,
you know?
Swerve's match was 10 minutes long and it ended in a DQ, and that's the world champion. Like,
and again, it's just like,
crazy.
Why are we booking him like that? Obviously, he's in Blood and Guts, and it makes sense with everything. I personally, I never was really on board with the idea of him being in Blood and Guts, but I'm entertaining it a little more now just because Hangman's, you know, on the other team.
Yeah.
But it, you know, it's, the booking of it doesn't entirely make sense. I guess like there's a lot of like intricacies of it. So there's Hangman and Swerve. That's a rivalry.
Yep.
There's the Bucks and the Acclaimed. That's a rivalry. But when are they going to have that tag team title match? Because they still have one, right?
Right.
They won that Eliminator match.
Yeah.
And we thought they were going to like have it at the last pay-per-view, but they didn't. So there's that. That could be its own rivalry. There's Jack Perry and Darby Allin, that they started like having a little beef. And then there's Mark Briscoe. And I'm like curious as to like why Mark Briscoe. Obviously he was the first to like declare for this match, but like why is he's kind of just like shoehorned into this rivalry that he doesn't really belong in.
Yeah.
And he's also the Ring of Honor World Champion on Team AEW in one of their, what should be one of their biggest matches of like their year on television.
Right.
So
it's a little weird.
I would be lying if I said I was excited for this Blood and Guts match. Just because I feel like there's usually a better build to it.
I think the thing with it, and it's kind of my problem with the MJF and Ospreay match, is MJF and Ospreay was a great match, right? It was incredible.
Yeah.
Take that alone, watch that a couple of years from now, and be like, holy fuck, like this was crazy. But it's the story around it. Yeah, MJF and Ospreay had a weak build. It was seemingly random. It was just like, you know, one day MJF.
It manifested in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it manifested in 2 weeks. It's a match that should have been held for All In. Like, imagine if that was at All In, was an hour long, and MJF won. It would go fucking crazy.
Yeah, that would be great.
It would be great. So it's a match that should have been at All In. It was too soon. Didn't have a great build. But it's a banger match. I think that's what's going to happen with Blood and Guts too, is it's got a weird build, and we're going to watch and be like, holy fuck, that was great. But put it back in the context of everything else, and it's just like, okay, like, why?
All right, like, where do we go from here?
Yeah, and that's the same thing with MJF and Ospreay, right? Like, MJF won the title. He supposedly used, you know, his ring to knock out Ospreay when the ref was down, and, you know, pinned him with 2 seconds left and won the title. Okay, where do we go from here? You know, like, are they gonna bring back Daniel Garcia right before All In and then have a triple threat or something, and then make Will Ospreay win it again at All In? Or like, is MJF gonna keep it? Or like, I don't know. There's all these questions and all these like open ends, and the builds are just so strange and wacky, you know? Like,
yeah, and I really want to know what's like going on in everybody's heads in creative, because I don't even know like what creative consists of.
Yeah.
But
again, it's like what we've been saying, you know, for the past really few months, is AEW, the matches are great. The wrestling is top notch. It's good stuff. Like,
I wonder
it's
if
entertaining,
it's getting
fun to watch, but the stories are just like bleh.
I wonder if it's just getting to the point where that's what like they are going to settle for as a company. Like, that is what this is more so about. Obviously, like, they've been pushing the thing that, like, this is where the best wrestle. You know?
Yeah. And that's okay. Like, there is an audience for that. Like, honestly, if you watch WWE, you get way more talking and other shit than you do wrestling. Until the PLEs, where it's just like, okay, here's 5 matches, bam. But on the weekly shows for WWE, you do get a lot more talking. You get a lot more story and build. Like, that's your soap opera show, whereas this is your, like, action show. You know, it's like...
Yeah.
It's fine, there is an audience for that, but it is, like, hurting it a little bit, I think.
I think so, too, just because we've seen what they are capable of, and they can tell a good story. I mean,
yeah, because they've done it
winning
before.
the world title... Hangman winning the world title back in 2022 was a 3-year-long story in the grand scheme of things.
Right.
And even, like, something that isn't as obvious like that, even that was a huge story. So it's just very, like, we got to figure out what we're doing.
Yeah, the only, like, great story that I can think of is, like, Tony Storm, Mariah May. And, you know, now that Hangman's back, like Hangman and Swerve. But other than that, like, I can't really think of anything.
Sorry, our Baja blasted that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we only have the strawberry, the raw strawberry and the lemonade.
Do you have the soda? The Baja Blast soda?
Yeah.
Oh, can I just get a medium then?
Alright.
Thank you. Sorry, I was in drive-thru at Taco Bell. Their freeze machine's broken.
No!
Dude, Mariah May came out. Everyone thought it was Toni Storm.
Yeah.
That was good. They look very similar.
They do.
So you can't really... Like, if I was there live, I would have thought it was her. But then once you zoom in, you're like, oh, fuck,
it took
it's
me
Mariah
a second.
May. Yeah, and then she just sat there for a good, like, minute straight. And Tony Schiavone goes, oh, will you just say something already, bitch? And everyone was like, whoa, Tony, what the hell? So fucking strange, dude. Oh, good segment. I don't think I've ever seen Mariah May, like, promo by herself.
Bro,
dude.
she did a fucking monologue.
It was good.
Yeah.
And she's been, like, the story here is that she's been, like, planning this for a while, and she's just kind of like, you know, I love Tony like a mother, but this was the end goal.
It was so funny. I was watching this. I was in the voice channel with Meg and Vile, and I was sharing my screen, and that promo came on, and after like a minute, Vile was like, "What is she talking about?" Because he was playing No Man's Sky while it was like playing, and he's like, "What is she going on about?" I was like, "Oh, you know."
I pitched the idea we should occasionally just have a guest that doesn't watch wrestling.
Yeah.
And just, like, have them watch a show with us. And, like, I was with Landon yesterday, and I was like, you want to be a guest on the podcast? And he was like, I don't watch wrestling. And I was like, I don't care. Like, I just want to get your thoughts on it. Like, I think it would be really good.
It could be funny, yeah.
That's going to be a good match.
Yeah.
And, again, probably the most interesting thing on the whole, you know, coming up for All In.
Yeah. Is that really the only, like, confirmed match other than Bryan and Swerve? It's only those two matches, like, confirmed,
I mean,
right?
we're definitely going to get some kind of running it back with... I think they might... I don't think they're going to have MJF hold the International for super long.
Okay.
I think they're going to set up for either a rematch with Will so he can win it in his home, you know, country, or they'll set it up so Daniel Garcia can win on, like, a really big stage.
Yeah.
But it's tough to say anything else. Maybe they're gonna fucking wait till All In for the Acclaimed to face the Young Bucks. I think that would be fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
And in terms of anything else, man, I don't really know. Like, it's
There's still over a month, so
there's
you know
plenty
that's
of time.
Okay. Yeah, there's plenty of time. It's just
July is coming to an end, though, so we gotta
start picking it up here.
Yeah. But speaking of picking it up, Britt Baker and Mercedes.
Yes, Mercedes
Dude.
had her match. with Nyla Rose. Nyla Rose is fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah, I fucking missed her, dude. I don't know the last time she was on Dynamite. She used to be a fucking women's champion there. I love Nyla Rose so much, dude.
Yeah, she's great.
She's, like, very fucking talented, very charismatic, and, like, there was one spot where, I don't know, Mercedes was trying to do something, and Nyla, like, caught her and brought her back down and was like, or she was like, "Are you out of your mind?"
Yeah, it was so funny.
That was, damn. It's just, it was very good.
Yeah.
You know, it just, very, very short match, but I feel like what she's doing here with Britt Baker is very just like classic babyface heel work.
Yeah.
Like, it's short and sweet and doesn't need too much attention.
Right.
You know, she got Britt banned from the building, and then she wins her match. For some reason, that was for the TBS title.
In the match, real quick, I just want to bring this up. She did like the Britt Baker bit where she took out a glove and she went to go. What's that move called? Just like is it just like a mandible claw? But it's like
it's a mandible claw. She's got a name for it.
So
but
she took out a glove and it said CEO on it. And it had like these long ass nails, and she shoves it in Nyla's mouth, and Nyla fucking bites her fingers.
Yeah,
so
and it's really good too, because like it's showing you that she's trying to do Britt's move and can't.
Yeah, right.
But then she had no problem like doing the fucking
the statement maker.
Is that what we're calling it?
Yeah,
now?
that's what it's called. The statement.
And then there's
maker.
the money maker, which is like the fucking other move that she does.
Yeah. But yeah, and then so she wins her match, she goes to celebrate, and Sting is in the crowd. And,
it's Sting!
And Sting pushes her, but wait, it's not Sting. It's Britt Baker in a Sting mask.
And the security did not try and stop her, which I think was the best part.
Yeah.
Like they eventually like got separated, but like no one really cared like that she was there. Like in security, I mean. Everyone's here for Britt Baker though, and like also before her match, she had a backstage segment with the Elite.
Yes.
And you know they're talking whatever. I'm part of the Elite. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Okada's like, "Hey, Matthew," and he like whispers in his ear, and then Matt Jackson's like, "Hey, can you do the CEO dance?" And she goes, she starts doing it.
She's like, "Yeah, sure, CEO."
Yeah. And then she dips out of there, and then they look at Okada and they're like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's just like so hot in here, so hot."
And he goes, "Oh, so hot."
I love Okada, dude.
So, did you see the signs that people made?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, incredible. There was 4 signs on Dynamite yesterday, and it said, let me pull them all up real quick. Okay, so these were the 4 Okada signs from last night. Okada can divide by 0. Okada makes onions cry. Okada can hear sign language. And Okada's email is gmail@okada.com. So goofy, dude. I love it. Fucking Okada's incredible. And if you guys are sitting here saying, why are they making Okada comedic? Shut the fuck up. Okada is having fun, and he's fucking great, dude. It's so good.
And, you know, it's... I don't know. I feel like Okada probably has, like, a lot of political stroke backstage simply because he's friends with the Young Bucks.
Yeah.
So I feel like if he didn't want to fucking do something like that, then he simply wouldn't.
Right.
Especially, you know, like, being from Japan, and there's, like, sort of a language barrier there. So, like, at least he knows how to be funny.
Yeah.
And he knows what's funny, and
there was a backstage segment after that when, you know, after Swerve and Okada's match where the Elite were doing a promo just talking shit about Darby, and he's like, these 4 assholes, and he goes, bitches, 4 bitches. And he's
So
like, yeah,
good.
these 4 bitches. It's like, oh my god. This is so good.
We're really leaning into the bitch thing.
Yeah.
on this
But
episode.
anyway, back to Britt Baker and Mercedes, because that's the tangent that we
No,
took off
I
from.
think it's going to be a good match.
Yeah,
And it's star-studded. I think Britt's going to win.
I think so. I have a good
She's
feeling
got a-
about it. That would be a very big moment at All In.
Yeah. And she was in, I think she was in it last year in the Fatal 4-Way.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I believe
It's her,
so.
Tony, Saraya, Jamie Hayter? I guess?
Yeah,
I don't remember, dude. I would go back and watch it.
yeah.
But,
That was great stuff.
good stuff. I'm at Walmart. Hang on.
Okay. So, to close out the show, we had the Swerve and Okada match. We already, talked about Okada a little bit here. But yeah, the match was 10 minutes long. It ended in a DQ with the Elite coming out. And, to lead up to Blood and Guts next week. So, a little brawl happened outside of the ring. The Acclaimed come out to help, and then Darby's music hits, and he comes down from the ceiling like Sting.
No flamethrower this time.
No flamethrower. Flames free this time, but he comes down from the ceiling. Briscoe unhooks him, and then, starts going crazy on them, so...
An homage to the Stinger.
It's Sting! Do you think he's gonna
I
come
will
down
say
like
that-
that from the rest... from the... Wait, I'm having a stroke. Do you think he's gonna...
Are you asking if I could?
Do you think he's gonna come down from the rafters from now on?
For what? Sorry.
From now on. Just forever.
No, I don't want that to be his thing.
Yeah, me neither.
I just want little subtle nods to Sting.
Yeah.
I will say that gimmick always looks goofy to me because he's just kind of like suspended in midair, coming down from the ceiling.
Yeah, he's
Also,
like,
I don't care like how many safety checks you do it. All I can think of is like the Owen Hart shit, dude.
I'm sure it's a lot different now, especially like...
Oh, after that, yeah.
Dude, imagine...
But-
well, and they have the Owen Hart tournament, so, like, imagine...
God.
dude.
What if they like? Sorry, this is fucked up. What if they like tried recreating it for the? Never mind.
Darby's like, hey, listen, I'm gonna unhook myself and land. Oh,
I'm gonna
God.
like go. I'm gonna drop maybe like 30 feet above the ring, and then I'm gonna unhook myself up there, and I'll be fine.
Bro.
Darby is gonna do some heinous shit next week. That's all I know.
Blood and Guts.
Yeah, I
Has
don't
he
think
been
he's
in
been
it
in a
before?
Blood and Guts. No, this is his first one. It's his
Damn.
Swerve's. Everyone on team AEW, it's their first time in the match, and then I
So,
think it's Okada's first time. And
Darby's definitely gonna jump off the cage, or he's gonna pull like a Jeff Hardy and like hang from the top of it, and like
Yeah,
do something
it's-
diabolical.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Like all storylines aside, it's gonna be a fun match.
Yeah, I want people to be up there, and then I want like Darby to be like a little gremlin and start pulling their feet from the top of the roof. So like he'll be hanging upside down from the roof. People will be on the ceiling.
Like on the inside.
Yeah, on the inside, and then you just see his hand come up and pull him down.
Book it.
It'll be like a little gremlin.
Have you seen Blood and Guts before?
Yeah, I watched last year's and the year before actually. Yeah, I watched them.
I think I missed last year.
Last year's was at the
That was-
Garden.
I know. I was mad that I couldn't go. I must have had something going on because I wasn't even there. Oh, I was dog sitting, actually. I do remember.
So sad. Anyways, Dynamite, it was a good episode. Some stuff happened.
I think
Not
it
as
felt
big
short
as-
because of the Ospreay match.
Yeah. Like,
Oh,
there was
but the
only
Ospreay match
3
was
matches,
really good.
so-
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ospreay
kinda
match was
wild.
good. It's just
Minoru Suzuki showed up too.
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
Yeah, but another storyline I'm a little confused about why he took so long to show up. Well,
Yeah,
no, we kind
yeah.
of talked about it. He like had something going on, but
Yeah, so Minoru Suzuki finally showed up during the during TV time with the Learning Tree.
it's true.
It's like, hey,
And next
anyone,
week-
everyone's gotta listen to me, everyone, and I mean everyone. And then,
He's like, people are getting hurt because they're not listening to me.
so he came out and was like, next week. And they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
So they're gonna have a match at Blood and Guts next week, so that's pretty exciting. But yeah,
yeah.
that's Dynamite 250. Let's move
250.
on to NXT.
My favorite show of the week. I've decided. I know I was on the fence about it, but I have officially decided it's my favorite show of the week.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love NXT, dude.
that's good. Yeah,
I'm an NXT head.
I like it. I like it too. I don't know if it's my favorite. I don't know what my favorite is. I don't know. I like parts of them all.
You're so like you don't know what you want.
Yeah, I don't know what
You're
I
so
want.
difficult.
I'm just so difficult. I can't decide.
You're such a problem.
Yeah. I should just become a tribalist. Seems
Okay.
easier.
Yeah.
Fuck
I think that it'll make for
Okay.
it'll make for good content too.
Yeah.
Because as long as one of us is a tribalist, then we'll never see eye to eye on anything.
Right.
And
We can always have conflict and beef, so it'll make good
yeah,
content.
and then we'll let it affect our personal lives too, and then
Yeah,
we hate
and
each
then
other.
and then we'll break up the podcast, and then you can continue Dropkick.
And then we start
and
our-
I'll start a rival one.
You'll start a rival promotion podcast.
Yeah, called Dropkick the Galeer. NXT. Oh man, we opened with the Rascals, baby.
Yup.
Yeah, it was a good match.
Good match.
Do you have
See
anything
how they move?
to say
You
about
like them?
it? I like them.
You like them?
I like them. I think this is the first time I've seen them. You know, I've seen them on TNA from the few times that I watched TNA. But
As
a
a trio, though.
Yeah, as a trio, they fucked, dude. It was crazy.
Yeah, and not only did we get an amazing performance from both teams, but at a moment in the match where both teams were down on the mat, Joe Hendry's music hits.
Vic Joseph goes, I'm gonna say it! I'm gonna say it! I'm gonna say his name! And then Joe Hendry's music hits.
And he goes, "Oh my god, it worked!"
Yeah, so good.
Oh, good. Dude, shit, man. If Joe Hendry isn't becoming TNA champion at the pay-per-view this weekend, I would be shocked.
That would be the biggest mistake TNA makes, bro. Like,
because not only that, he's over in TNA and he's over as hell in NXT.
yeah,
So if he wins, personally, I think like they should have done more to kind of be like, "Hey, I'm gonna be
Slammiversary
in
on
the world.
Saturday." Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna be in this match," and then people will maybe buy the pay-per-view, but WWE fans are pretty used to just the Peacock subscription, so
Yeah.
like it's tough. But like Joe Hendry, I think it would be a mistake not to have him win it.
yeah.
6-man elimination match. I think it's a perfect way to like protect Moose, because I don't think he's going to be the one to pin Moose. And but like, and then you have him bring the title to NXT,
Right.
where he is over as hell, and then
You know, and then their two biggest champions, like, would be on NXT. Like, Jordan Grace showed up, you know, those times. And now Joe Hendry as world champ. Like, it would go so hard. It would go so
yeah,
hard.
I think it's time to happen, and NXT is pretty good about like recognizing when like a guy is in that top spot. They fucking pull the trigger on him like
Yeah.
very quickly.
And we got the NXTNA chant. I love it. NXTNA, NXTNA. Like that was good stuff.
It was very fucking good, dude.
Jordan Grace
Yeah.
is hyping up Slammiversary a lot. She said there are going to be some massive surprises at Slammiversary on Saturday. So
We're probably gonna honestly get more crossover.
yeah, for sure.
I think Izzy Dame was on TNA, and she was like an open challenger. And I was like,
Char-
okay.
Charlie Dempsey also had a match. On the
that
4th.
That's been really cool.
Yeah.
Just to see, like, I feel like they're not like making too much. It's like, you know, we're in it now, so it's not like, it doesn't feel like a huge deal, but not in a bad way. It's just kind of like, hell yeah, this is like normal now.
Yeah, it'll be a bigger deal when they send, you know, a bigger NXT person to TNA. Like, obviously, I'm not saying Charlie Dempsey's small, but, you know, Charlie Dempsey, Tatum Paxley, like, they've sent, you know, their smaller names. Like, if we got Trick on TNA, if we got, like, Roxanne on TNA, you know, send someone huge over there to really, you know, up that collab.
Yeah, dude, and this is like one of those few situations where I will say, do a champion versus champion match, because in this circumstance it works, because it's like two promotions that are very new to each other.
Right.
Like with it in AEW, like say with the New Japan Strong Openweight Women's Champion, whatever, and the TBS Championship, it's like, in my head, like, New Japan's been a part of AEW for the last however many years.
Yeah.
This is brand fucking new, and, like, I want to see, like, not with both titles on the line, just a champion versus champion match, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, Trick Williams versus, say, if Moose retains, Trick Williams versus Moose, Trick Williams versus Joe Hendry.
It's almost like a bragging rights
or, like,
situation.
give me, like, you know, their mid-carders against each other. Obafemi versus Mustafa Ali.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. There's a lot of opportunity for dream matches. When they did it with AEW, everyone was making dream matches in their head, and then the only thing that came out of it was Kenny Omega versus Rich Swann, who was the world champ at the time. And then they had Moose.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of opportunity here, and it doesn't show any signs of, like, slowing down, which I am a big fan of.
I saw a thing, I forget who said it, but it was Moose, actually. Moose said that the collab with WWE is so much better communication wise, I guess.
Yeah.
They're saying, like, he was just talking about, like, all the positives and how it feels like a better collab than the AEW
It does,
one.
and it's like, again,
yeah, and you can see that in the product.
I think too, like, when AEW did it at the time, they were already so much bigger than TNA. Where, like, yeah, WWE is bigger than TNA, but NXT is like that same vibe, that same, like, crowd size, that same energy and like, type of wrestling fan. Yeah. So, I think they knew what they were doing. They, you know, they've been watching, they've been planning, and I, you know, obviously, like, one benefits more than the other, I think, but it's just if anything, it's less about getting TNA's name out there, because I'm pretty sure most people know about TNA, and it's just more about getting the wrestlers' names out there, and then maybe in hopes that people will be interested in seeing them in TNA.
Yeah. Yeah, it's helping.
I could very well see, like, some kind of. There was a rumor earlier this year that, like, WWE was going to buy TNA.
Yeah, and use that
and
as, like,
honestly,
their developmental.
I kind of wouldn't want that personally, just because I like them as, like, their own brand. I think because just seeing all the shit that they've been through.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind it though. Like, it would be interesting. Like, I could see it happening. You know.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm at the bakery, and they got the cows here and shit, because it's like and there's a barn straight ahead, and it just says maternity barn.
Go watch a cow get born live on the podcast. All right, NXT. Let's see. Brooks Jensen was being goofy again, attacking people, coming out of matches. Did he have a match this time? I don't remember.
Wasn't in the Hulu version. I didn't see him once.
I don't think he had a match. He was being goofy
fucked
again.
Up. They didn't put Brooks Jensen in my program.
Ethan Page was talking to Ava, and he's like, you know, are you going to do anything about these clowns and all that stuff? And Brooks Jensen walks in, and he's like, hey, I want to have a title match. And she's like, what? No, shut up. And he goes, well, Ethan Page was like, why don't you just reward terrible behavior? Give it to him. Go ahead. Like, you know, we have all this stuff going on around here, and you're just making all these wacky matches. And she's like, well, if you want to defend your title so bad, why don't you do it tonight? And he goes, okay, I'm gonna defend against Dante Chen. Let's defend against him. And she's like, okay. And so that was
let me tell you,
that was a match for later that night.
Dante Chen looks damn good out there.
Yeah, he does. He's great, dude.
And the crowd loves him.
And
he's jacked as fuck.
Yeah, and I forget who the interviewer is on NXT.
I could not tell you.
But
I don't know.
they were like, hey, Dante Chen, how do you feel about your match? And he's like, well, I'm a little surprised, but hey, you know, gotta be ready whenever. So, yeah, I'm ready to go out there. And yeah, Dante Chen looked strong, dude. He looked really good in the match. Unfortunately, Page retained, and it was really funny. He did his finisher, the Ego's Edge or whatever, and then did a whole thing and pinned him. And then he took Dante Chen's hand while he was down and like shook it violently and was like, great match, kid, great match. And then he gets attacked by Oro Mensah. On-site Oro.
Yeah, give me that match. I'm here.
Yeah.
Give me the Oro Mensah versus Ethan Page.
Are you
NXT Championship.
Are you feeling any better about Ethan Page being NXT champion?
Not really.
I agree.
I'm feeling more like Oro Mensah rivalry could have been there. There's no point to having the NXT Championship in this feud.
Right.
I guess we gotta give it a little longer to really see what happens, because clearly, like, Javon Evans is gonna come back, and Trick is like down on his luck, and he's like, man, I need to get the championship back. He's FaceTiming Ilya.
Yeah, he's trying to figure out how to get back into the title picture. Yeah, he FaceTimed Ilya in the back, and the crowd went crazy. They were like, ah!
They miss him.
But yeah, so he was talking to Ilya, trying to figure out how to get back into the title picture, and he's like, oh, what do I gotta do? And Ilya's like, hey man, when you took that title from me, I had to refocus. So I got brought up to the main roster, and now I got other goals. And he's like, okay, well, what do I do around here? And he's like, you know, man, just focus on yourself. Talking to him like it's a breakup.
Yeah.
So, you know.
So,
Trick's figuring out
maybe, do you think they're going to bring Trick back to it, or do you think...
At some point, I'm wondering when that will be. I don't know. Yeah.
Very up in the air, but I'm still not used to Ethan Page with a championship period.
Yeah, it's very strange. A little
I do
rust,
think it is the way to make him feel more important in NXT.
Yeah.
I just felt like it was way too soon.
Yeah.
And I feel like they could have done that without giving him a title.
Yeah, I can agree.
Because I feel like he still comes out to like the same reaction, more or less.
So, yeah, NXT was good. Good show.
Good ep.
Good show.
Good ep.
So, yeah. Do you have anything else you want to talk about for Wrestling Delir?
For wrestling?
Yeah.
I will say this about Raw. Two big things coming out of Raw. Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley. We already knew that would happen.
Yes.
Rhea Ripley pissed off at Dom the whole night. And then at the end she's like, I'm not yours. Nobody owns me. I own you. And man,
yeah.
She's fucking right.
Yeah, dude. He folded.
Yeah. So, you know, I still think Dom's gonna turn on her.
I agree.
I'm pretty fulfilled from this storyline. Like, I don't think I need much out of it going forward. Like, I think it's done its job. So, we got a couple more weeks left till SummerSlam, so we'll see what else they do with it. And the other big thing is apparently Drew and CM Punk have a lot more in common because Drew fucking can't apologize to
Dude, that was
anyone either.
so funny.
Pierce was like, I want to lift your suspension on one condition. And he brings in the two refs that got tossed around at that post-show scuffle. Yeah. And he goes, these two guys put their bodies on the line every day, and they did not deserve what happened to them that night. And he was like, you owe them an apology. And he freaked the fuck out. He was like, are you fucking kidding me? And then he's like, did he just keep his suspension or something? I forget.
Yeah, he's like, okay, then get out of here. And he had security take him out. I genuinely thought, there was a point he backed up to the corner. I genuinely thought he was going to Claymore Adam Pearce right there. I thought it was going to happen because he backed up to the corner and I was like, oh shit.
I need you, after we finish this, I need you to go on YouTube and I need you to search Roman Reigns versus Adam Pearce SmackDown.
Ooh, okay.
I can't remember what happens in the match, but I know they had a match with each other. And this was right when Adam Pearce became a character on TV.
Yeah.
But yeah, Drew and Punk don't know how to give apologies. It's kind of funny because CM Punk obviously is the baby face. Everyone loves him in this story, but he's very heelish in his behavior.
He is.
So to me, it feels like two heels that just want to beat the fuck out of each other.
That's pretty much what it is, yeah. I also want to talk about one more thing, and it's we were right in the fact that we're getting more Wyatt 6 tapes from other members. We had an Eric Rowan one this week.
Yeah. He talked about, he's lost his brothers.
Yeah, this one was very
really
real,
Oh yeah, it was super real. I love Eric Rowan, dude. And obviously, knowing how close he was to the Wyatts, Brody and Bray.
Yeah.
Dude, this was very real.
Yeah.
I will say, I feel like instead of doing this once a week kind of thing, they could have easily done spread out all the Wyatt 6 members across the episode in little vignettes, in my opinion.
So there's multiple vignettes per episode?
Yeah, just because I feel like this has been super drawn out.
Yeah.
I feel like it could, even if it was just a couple an episode, if we got 4 more members to go, are we going to take 4 more weeks to introduce the Wyatt family or the Wyatt 6 before we actually see them all in any sort of action? We did see Bo Dallas though, but because Chad Gable was like, you'll never believe what I figured out. Uncle Howdy is Bo Dallas.
Yeah, and everyone's like,
so
we know.
So he comes out with the Creed brothers, his new besties.
Yep.
And he calls out Bo Dallas. And Bo Dallas comes out to no music, which I think is awesome.
Yeah.
He just kind of wanders out. It's very funny. He gets in the ring, and they just beat on him, and the man is laughing, maniacally, just getting his shit rocked. He's just sitting there laughing, and we're just like, what the fuck is he laughing about? And then the lights go out, and then the entirety of the Wyatt 6 appear.
Yeah.
In the ring, and fucking what a I think that segment should have closed out the show.
Yeah, that would have gone hard, to close on that shot of all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's just it's one of those shots that you remember, and it's very cliffhangery, as have been the segments. I feel like this would have been better than the Sami Zayn match, personally.
Yeah.
That was a good match, but I think it ended in DQ, actually. So, no, it wasn't. It was good until then.
Yeah.
And then that's how the show ends, so I think if you swap those, it would have been fine. But Not a bad episode of Raw.
Yeah, no. It was good. It was good. Like we've been saying, they've been, weekly programming is darn good from WWE lately. It's been
Sure
good
is,
stuff.
and
Yeah.
we got SmackDown, we got TNA before Slammiversary, we
Yeah.
got Slammiversary.
Yeah, Slammiversary is gonna go hard. I'm really excited for it.
I saw that Mike Bailey versus Mustafa Ali got announced.
Yes, for the X Division title.
The X Division?
The X Division title. Are we just gonna say that for every title that's a mid-card title now?
Yeah. So, International, the Intercontinental,
The Continental.
the Continental, the United States, the X Division, maybe perhaps the TNA Digital Media Championship.
Lordy Lou.
Oh, this has been a long one.
This is a long one. We're gonna get to come see you soon.
It's gonna be everything.
You're my everything.
The Drop Kickers, y'all are my everything.
Yes, drop kickers. Give us money at the link below if you want.
Yeah.
If you don't want to, keep on subbing, liking, sharing, commenting,
Yeah, but I love money.
subscribing, retweeting,
Engage us.
engage.
Engage in conversation with us.
Yes.
Man, we should I don't know. We should do a live meetup.
a live fan meetup at TwitchCon.
In Las Vegas.
No, it's in
No,
San
wait.
Diego.
Oh, sorry. That was last year. Or the year
Fucking
before.
idiot.
That was the one I couldn't go to,
Yeah,
right?
join us for our TwitchCon panel.
Yeah, we actually have like a Q&A.
Yeah, Q&A, Dropkick the Commute Q&A. We're calling it.
What if people go
Dropkick
there
the
and
Q&A.
they're like looking for us?
Yeah, they're like, guys, what
it's
the
like,
heck?
It's like 2 or 3 people, and they're like, "Oh, you're here for Dropkick the Commute?"
Oh man,
God. All right, this episode needs to end.
I agree. This podcast needs to end.
Oh, forever?
Dropkick the Commute needs to change. Just like damage
It's
control.
never gonna change, and that's why we need to kill it. What the heck?
What? Beep beep.
Anna's sticking out the window.
Anna, don't jump.
All right.
All right, let's have this.
Beep, beep.
beep, beep.